Assalamu alaikum, people listening and watching. You're tuning into the Let's Walk podcast. I'm your host Atta, and today I'm joined by Hamdan, aka the car expert. Assalamu alaikum, Hamdan. Thank you for joining in.
Salam, Allah. God bless. Thank you for having me.
Hamdan, for people who don't know you, could you give a brief introduction about yourself?
Okay, I'm the guy with the mask. If someone is in UAE or the GCC countries, they probably know me. But if someone who is outside of UAE, I'm the guy who wears a mask and I talk about cars. That's as simple as I can put it.
Yeah. So Hamdan, why don't you tell us about where your love for cars began? Was it in school, or was it like every other teenager who falls in love with cars?
Uh, when it comes to cars, a lot of people they think that cars are just a way to take you from place A to place B. However, with me, it's totally the opposite. For me, I can feel the car. Most of the time when I'm sitting with my cars, with my friends' cars and stuff, I can even feel what's wrong with this car and what this car actually needs. So if you talk about how the love of cars started, it's just like every single man or every single teenager, every single kid, when they see something, just like a woman when they see a diamond, and even though if they don't know about the diamond, if they don't know how many carats that is, but for them this is something precious. It was the same story with me when I saw a car. When I heard the sound of the turbo, when I heard the sound of this exhaust, I was crazy about such things. I wanted to learn more. I wanted to know more. I wanted to drive one. That's how I know about cars. That's how the spark started about cars.
So after getting attracted about the cars and everything, like how did you take it on from there? Did you get in touch with the local mechanic, or did you start seeing YouTube videos? Like how did you go about it?
See, I back in the days, I was not much into the YouTube videos. YouTube is recently. I mean, people like to watch YouTubes and videos and channels are there and everything you need is on YouTube. But back in the days, it was more like you break something, you make something, you do it, you open it by yourself, you try to clean the car. So I still remember the first attachment with my car was my father's car. It was a Land Cruiser. It was, the 98 model Land Cruiser. It was single door. And that car I had an attachment with. I used to, like clean the car twice a day. Like I would be waiting when the car would come into the house and I would be able to clean the car simply because of that attachment. So whenever I would make something, I would literally, I was stupid as a kid. I used to put the hose of the water inside the car's exhaust, and all of the black carbon would come out, and I would be like, "See, I'm cleaning the car." However, that was not good for the health of the car, but that's what kept, making me happy that I'm trying to clean the car. I'm trying to do something about the car. And when it comes to mechanics, I was not much into mechanics, but as time went by, I somehow started to learn by breaking these things. I mean, it's like you break something and you try to make it by your own self. You try to figure something out. There is a dent, you just put a plunger in it and you just try to remove it, thinking maybe it will help to remove the dent in the car. Same things, like you create a problem and you create a solution by yourself. That's how it happened.
So it's more like figuring things out on your own, rather
On
than
your own, absolutely.
yeah, watching YouTube videos like most people nowadays. I'm not sure if it was YouTube was there back in the day, or was it?
It was there back in the days, but we were not much aware of YouTube. Like we never took YouTube as a way of, getting some information. For us, YouTube was a platform of entertainment, like listening to music. You're getting me? So it goes like that. And that time, not that many videos related to cars were on YouTube. So again, it was like very, less information on YouTube as compared to today itself.
So how did you come up with content creation? You were doing the cars thing, and obviously, are you into reselling like Bahrain? Do you really do you own that?
See, we do sell cars. I'm into cars business. Like we buy and sell used cars. That's something which is out of passion. The love of cars is more, and it goes beyond Bahrain cars. The love for cars is something that I told you from a very young age, and It's just that when you are looking into a car, it depends on the way you look at. Just like I've told you before, it's you look at as a means of transport, or you look at as you're looking at a living being. It was like that.
So how did you come into content creation, and how did you like initially think about let's start making videos, or let's start educating people rather about cars
It
and
was that a lot of people, a lot of our clients, they used to come. So since we had a service like we believe in 100% transparent dealings and customer satisfaction, a lot of the clients they used to give us calls or messages on how to do this, like small things. Like we used to tell them that you have to clean your car's air filter, cabin air filter, and they used to ask like, how do I do that? Which garage should I go to do it? And I was quite shocked. Like it's something which is so easy. It literally takes just 2 minutes to remove the cabin air filter and fix another one. People did not know this. I mean, all they know is because they don't teach such stuff when you're going to obtain a driving license. They will just give you a license. There's a couple of tests. There's a process. You do it. You know how to drive the car. That's it. Driving a car is not as you know hectic as maintaining a car. And a lot of dealerships and a lot of agencies or a lot of garages, they cheat their clients because they're not transparent. Why? Simply because the person with that car, the owner of the car, does not know about such stuff. So from there, an idea came. Why not help people? Content creation for me was not to get famous. Until day, I wear a mask simply because I don't want people to know me in public. Oh, it's that guy. Oh, it's that guy. No, that's something which I don't want to be. All I
you
wanted from day one was to help people make better choices about cars, to help people learn about cars, to help people know about cars, to help people love cars. That's the reason why.
Yeah, it all makes sense, I wonder how did you come across, all the car hacks, because sometimes on YouTube we see all the car hacks, but usually it's just made for the sake of making on YouTube. But some of your stuff where, the uric acid where you mentioned when the bird poops, or any animal, be it a cat or people, throwing eggs or something like that, that we need to clean it immediately. Well, while I heard when my dad used to, like, my dad usually he says, let it dry off and then you can like just scrape it off, but the stain remains over there. So how did you come up with actually the hacks to like mitigate all these problems?
See, I'm dealing with like we are dealing with a lot of cars on a daily basis. We're dealing with a lot of cars on a daily basis, and you yourself are a car enthusiast. If you are someone into modification, like I personally was into modifications. I'm not talking about just the cosmetics of the car. I'm talking about like proper modes, swapping engines, putting turbo, superchargers, exhaust, all that stuff. So whenever I used to, look into a car, I used to look for the defects. What kind of defects this car have? So a lot of cars, because a lot of people they try to put their cars under a tree, thinking it's shaded, it will be good for the paint. But they don't know that this tree holds more than 10,000 birds at a time, and a lot of times the bird poops on the car. And mostly there are some, marks, okay, on the bonnet, on the trunk, and on the roof of the car, but not on the sides. How come? So that created a curiosity. Then I looked into it, like what could this be? What is causing this issue? Then it turned out it looked like a bird poop. And I asked the owner, okay, do you like park your car under a shade? He's like, yes, whenever I'm going to the office, I park it under a tree. Okay, there are birds in the tree. Yes, there are. I'm tired of cleaning it, so just I let it be. And whenever they're like dry, and then I just remove it. From there, I went to go into it and actually look into that. It has uric acid in it, and anything which has uric acid in it, the paint is the uric acid goes against the paint, and hence it destroys the paint. So it's all because I have to experience all these things. I literally park the car once a time just to make sure that okay, is this thing real or not real? I park the car under a tree, waiting for a bird to poop on it, in order for me to know is this actually real or not real. And to my information, a bird actually came and pooped on it, and I had to wait 2 days in order to clean it to know how long will it take for it to absorb. So it turns out it all depends on a couple of things: how long the car is running, and how hot the bonnet or the weather is. because it literally boils. It literally boils in onto the bonnet, because when the bonnet is hot and the poops on it, it literally goes and soaks it in. And that's why when you will clean it, there's always a mark on it.
Yeah. So that's how you came up with all that different hacks you have. You actually figured it out by, yourself experiencing them.
Yeah, absolutely. I
So,
mean, what's the better way? I mean, I don't have any guinea pigs. I have to experience it on myself. If I have a curiosity, I have to do something, do it by myself. Like coffee beans. I literally posted a video of, because a lot of people see every human being, they have a smell. Okay, every human being, no matter how clean you are, how many deodorants you use, to you, your smell is like, you are used to of your smell, own smell. But when someone else walks in your car, especially in a country where it's hot, you sweat, your car seat absorbs your sweat. That's smelly. For a lot of people, they don't realize it. For them, it's very normal. But when someone walks in your car and they smell, that gives a very bad impression, no matter how clean of a person you are. So for that, I had a hack, which was coffee beans. Literally, they're very cheap. They're like you can get probably 100 grams for as low as 3 to 4 dirhams, which will be, I think, probably let's say 100 rupee, Indian rupees, not more than that. And that thing lasts. That 100 rupees or that 4 to 5 dirhams would last you a couple of months, a month or 2 months. And coffee, it is a well-known fact that it absorbs the smell and it gives its own fragrance. And I mean, coffee smells better than sweat. So all these things started to a point where I had to create my own hacks, experiment them, and then put them on real life. Yeah.
in fact, coffee is used in perfume shops, I believe, where they don't, while you are actually checking different perfumes, choosing which one to
Your
buy.
sense of smell, once it's gone, you will smell the coffee, and then you can test other perfumes as well. Exactly.
Yeah, is that where you got it from, or like was it a different place for like discovery?
See, the idea, I did not get the idea from that place, of course. The idea was because I like coffees, so I love coffees. And from that, coffee has a really, nice smell, and it goes for long and long, because you have coffee, when you're having coffee, and like black coffee, let's suppose, or Turkish coffee, a lot of times what happens is that we keep it in our car and we go and do, some shopping and stuff like that, and we come back. Even though there is a very less amount of coffee left, but still, once you will get into your car, there is an amazing smell of coffee. And it goes on for days. So from there, I got the idea that, okay, this can be done.
Wow, crazy. So, with obviously the automotive industry slowly moving towards electric, what are your thoughts on electric cars? For sure, the fuel-based cars, they have always been there, and obviously they'll be close to our hearts. But what do you think about the electric cars that are coming up slowly uh, with the wave and everything?
Up to some extent, it actually breaks my heart to see all these electric cars. I mean, okay, they have cool designs, nice options, great touch, good comfort. But I come from a generation of V8 and V6, not even four cylinders. Inline four is something which I was not familiar with, or something which I did not like. Still, if you'll ask me what makes a better sound, I will say a V12 or a V8, not even a V6. When I say cars, I want to hear a monster. I want my neighbors to know that, okay, I woke up from my sleep. That gives me the feel of owning a car, not a car which just takes me from place A to place B. Electric cars, it is the future. Unfortunately, it is the future, and it's going rapidly. It's going really fast, and probably in the future, a lot of countries they will ban, you know, petroleum cars, which still, it's still kind of a shocking to hear. But in the future, these things all will happen slowly by slowly by slowly. Electric cars, they are good, but still, nothing can beat the sound of an exhaust. Now they're putting fake exhaust sound in electric cars. Does not make sense. Something is not there. Why are you putting it? I mean, it's just like you're putting speakers. That's it. Nothing else.
Yeah. So you also talk about cars as like a car represents your status, and like you mentioned in one of your reels as to how real estate people wearing three-piece suit and everything, and there's also at the same time we have CEOs and people who are really successful who don't actually own like sports cars and cars of like luxury. What do you think about that?
See, uh, I got a couple of comments like this person does not own, that person is a billionaire and he does not own these cars. First of all, you guys don't know about these people. We don't know about these people. If someone is not investing in a supercar, they're investing in a watch of Job and Co. worth more than $1.5 million. They find their kick in their watch. They find their kick. Their means of transport is not cars. They are flying in jets. Come on. I mean, who are we kidding? You think Jeff Bezos will be driving in a Mercedes? Come on. What he will do with a Mercedes? He does not feel, he does not get the fun out of a Mercedes. He's gonna fly in a jet, private jet, in a Boeing, which toilet is made out of gold. Their level is really high. But what we see is that, see, Mark Zuckerberg only wears I don't know, a black shirt all his life. That guy does not have that much time to have a collection of shirts to waste time thinking, should I go for this shirt or this shirt or this shirt? Black shirt or blue shirt or whatsoever, gray shirt, I'm going to wear it every single day. These people, they don't have time to waste. The car shows a lot about your personality. I mean, you yourself. If you will see on the road a guy driving, let's suppose I will give you an Indian example. A guy driving a Suzuki Maruti, okay? Maruti 800, I think you guys have it.
Yep.
Okay. What do you think? How successful that person is?
Like, okay, he's doing
It's okay, hand to mouth,
alhamdulillah.
all that stuff.
Yeah,
Alhamdulillah. What do you think about a guy driving in a Lamborghini Hurricane in on the road?
we'd be thinking he's like they're doing super good.
They're doing really good. They're
Yeah.
successful. This guy must be, uh, flying money, throwing money. He has a lot of money. Probably you will end up going to his car and taking a couple of photos as well. Why don't you do that with a Maruti 800? Right. Because that thing is normal. Like everyone has it, or it's way too normal. And same goes with the cars as well. Just like you have to dress well, okay? Because no one is going to come to your house. People will know you by how you look and dress and what car you drive. I don't know where you live. You don't know where I live. I could live in probably let's suppose a junk place. And I could live in a junkyard, but if I drive a Lamborghini or a Bugatti Divo, trust me, any place I will go, there will be people following me. There will be people taking photos with me. There will be people. It's not about just being in the news. It's about how successful that will make you. I have a friend who rents. He's into real estate. He uh, he has a Nissan Tida. The car cost is around 6,000 to 8,000 dirhams. Okay, it's one of the cheapest cars you can ever own. Let's suppose some Suzuki Maruti 800. Let's suppose this guy, whenever he's dealing with big companies or he's showing around a big client, what he does, he goes and rents a supercar. He literally pays somewhere around $10,000 to $15,000 for just one day, and 99% of success rate is there. When people see him coming in a Lamborghini, they say, oh, this guy knows what he's doing. This guy is successful. This guy does not have time to waste. You know what? Deal done. Now imagine you are showing a multi-billion-dollar house and you show up in a Maruti 800. I mean, no offense to the people who drive a Maruti 800, but it's just, it's just mind. It's just, how people think about you. It's all about the perspective they look to you and all that. So of course, cars they matter a lot they matters. Just like people, when they have a fake Rolex, 90% of people wearing Rolexes are fake. You and I, we both know it. But still, they will show it off in a way, or glasses that it came from San Francisco. My uncle sent it to me, but it came from Sydney. It did not came from anywhere. It just came from a local seller who scammed you for 150 dirhams, and you just feel like, okay, I'm having a Rolex. You can never afford a Rolex. But with cars, there is no such thing as copy. There's no such thing as third party. It's original. That's it. End of story. That's why a lot of people they cannot afford it.
Yep. So with that, what is your dream car?
See, my dream car is the Mercedes Gullwing SLS. As you can see in the photos behind, the red one, this one right here. This one is one of my dream cars. It's something which is a big connection. Which has, when I look at this car, I feel like this is the most beautiful piece of art created. For me, that's an art. That's the work of an artist.
Yeah. So yeah, with as we approach to the end of the podcast, we have like the final four questions to bring some more perspective in our lives. So if you were to have dinner with three people, dead or alive, who would they be and why?
I would probably have dinner with, you say three people, yeah?
Yep.
I would have probably dinner with Sir Jeremy Clarkson, who is, of course, alive. He's somewhat, I look up to him as a car enthusiast because somewhat, I'm not at that level, but I can never be at that level. Uh, but that person knows car. He can feel the cars. That's one person. Second person would be Paul Walker, who died in a car crash accident. The guy who everyone knows is from the Fast and Furious. He was the only person who knew about cars in the whole Fast and Furious. He was actually a car enthusiast. When it comes to third person, probably it's gonna be Richard Hammond because me and Jeremy Clarkson would hang up and we will make fun of him. That will be a good gig.
So the next question is, if you were to go back in time, let's say 5 years, 10 years, what would you say to the younger Hamdan, the younger car expert?
I would say keep doing what you're doing. Because when I was younger, I used to sit with my friends. I used to tell them one thing. I don't know how the future is, but trust me, my future is bright. I had that confidence in me back in the days of the world. And my friends used to ask me, what do you mean by that? I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do, but whatever I'm going to do, I'm going to give 100% of that. And I'm going to be the best at it. So, yeah, my advice for Hamdan 5 or 10 years ago would be keep doing what you're doing. You're on the right track. You know what you're doing.
So, aside from the perspective questions, like while you were in this car thing and making this car thing your own thing, did you look for any validation, or did you look for any like a sign, so that let's say like a sign from God, so that you are in the right direction or anything like that, such as getting a big gig, or like getting your cars featured in some of the car shows or something like that?
See, it's somewhat, you feel that when you're relaxed, when you do something, you do something, you do something, and then all at once it's done and you feel relaxed without having any tension, without being stressed. When you're at peace, your mind is at peace. I think that's the biggest sign you can ever have or get that you are on the right directions. Because not everything goes as per what you planned, but there are some things which are planned for you already. You're getting me? So for me, that was the sign enough. Like whatever I would do, I would give 100%, and alhamdulillah, it used to go up to my expectations. And I don't expect more. Like expecting more is probably the worst possible thing anyone can do. You expect more, you get less. Expect less, give you 100%, and you will get more.
Yeah. So if you sound like a very well read person, you like do the life preach and everything with cars, obviously. So it kind of like adds some juice to the Instagram thing. So if you were to recommend three books, which one would they be and why?
See, books. When I was growing up, I used to read a lot of books. For me, books was something I was, not a bookworm, but I like to read books. But I did not like to read books which were, related to mechanism, or books which were related to cars, or books which were related, or magazine stuff. I used to read stories, like there were a lot of stories by Charles Dickens, I don't know, stuff like that. They used to have books. Currently, if you will ask me to read any books, for a normal person, I would say read any book, but read books which have a lot of plot twists in them. I cannot suggest you like go for this book or Polo Colo or stuff like that. No. And I cannot suggest you books related to cards as well, because that's something which I did not do it. And I don't think that you can learn through books. Books are outdated. I mean, no offense to you, I think you have a couple of books behind you, but books are outdated. Come on. We are going to a future where we are living in the future already. Everything is available on your fingertips. So leave the books, leave the articles, leave this. Now this whole 500-page book with 3 edition, within half an hour you can check it out on YouTube. Simply explained with practical and showing like visuals. We remember visuals more than what we remember by reading it. I mean,
Yep.
before back in the days, people know internet. There was no, not this of advancement. But currently, no need to watch. Like I'll give you an example. A book. Let's search Harry Potter. Back in the days, probably when you were young as well, you have read Harry Potter books as well. Harry Potter books. One book would be around 200 pages. It would take you at least 2 months to 3 months to finish one edition. Watch the movie, 2 hours, bye bye. It does not give you as much information, as much details as per the book. But I will tell you one thing 90% of the books which I have read, I've forgotten about them. I don't even remember what stories was. But all the movies which I've seen, I know 90% of the movies with their dialogues. So it's just that the visual are really, more interesting and they're more easy to remember. So books, nada. I don't suggest the books.
Yeah. So the last question for you is, what do you want to be remembered for?
The guy with the mask who knew about cars.
Nice. So Hamdan, where is the best place people can find you and come in contact with you?
So I have I have Instagram and I have TikTok. There is a link on my TikTok or Instagram profile. They can just click on the link, and if someone is in UAE and they need any kind of help related to cars, they can just click on that link, and then there are services as well. Like you got my WhatsApp business for if when you want to buy a car or sell a car, or you want to have car vehicle related information. Like a lot of people, they don't know where to find this part or where to buy it or where to modify it or the garages or the shipping or towing or insurance services. So we have created a platform very easy for our clients or followers to go and get every single service they need in that link right there. So they can just click it and they can just be able to get all the details. However, for a lot of our followers, they leave us on our Instagram. It's amazing, it's lovely, and 90% or not maybe 90, but 80% of the followers are from India, and that's something which I want to say that much love from UAE to all the Indians right there. Thanks for the love and support. God bless you. And unfortunately, there are a lot of messages. So for me to reply to every single one of them on time, that's almost impossible. We try to reply to 40 to 50 people per day just on Instagram. And still, I think there is more than 1,800 or 900 messages still pending. So yeah, but still, Instagram will be probably the easiest place to get in touch. Or you can mail me. Mail. I always read the mails.
So people listening and watching, guys and girls, this is it for the Let's Walk podcast. You guys know what to do. Stay blessed. Keep taking action. We will catch you in the next one.